So, Gary Bettman, the most popular commissioner, he's the NHL commissioner. He's so unpopular it's unreal. He is the most hated sports commissioner in pro sports. He has presided over 3 lockouts and player strike, a failed expansion franchise, rising ticket prices, badly enforced salary cap because you can just eat it on the injured reserve to put a player on IR for a long period of time, and doesn't count in your cap. Player wages going up higher than expected, and mucking up merchandising of teams. And I'm going to mention a few instances. The failure of the Atlanta Thrashers and how the league dealt with that. Not good. When they relocated to Winnipeg in 2011, at the draft that year, they knew they were going to Winnipeg, but at the draft that year there was no jerseys or logo ready. So Mark Scheifele had to appear in an NHL t-shirt. The perceived bias against Canadian teams, I think, is a little bit truth in that, because charging Vegas $500 million and then putting another $150 million on for Seattle prices out Canadian cities for ever having a franchise again, expansion. The issues with Calgary Saddledome and Ottawa's Canadian Tire Centre, and how the league isn't helping them, and Bettman's making inflammatory comments saying, well, we might have to move you. Whereas when Carolina, Arizona and Florida have their own issues, nah, you're staying put, we'll keep pumping money into you. And to be fair, Arizona and Carolina have got their ownership issues sorted. Florida, all they've got to do is start improving as a team, and they're sorted. But the comparative will look after the American teams, will threaten the Canadian teams. The way that when he was early on in his commissionership, I will call it that, and on his tenure, the way Hartford, Quebec and Winnipeg were forcibly moved to other locations, forcibly relocated. Oh, Winnipeg have got a team back, but my God, he is hated in that city. Yeah. Real hatred towards Bettman. And that's sort of where the dislike towards Bettman came from. It was about 96 when those teams were relocated. That's where the dislike really comes from. Because not long after that, within 8 years, full season lost to lockout. 3 years before that, season lost to lockout. 2 seasons before that, well, half a season. And a players' strike, which damaged those revenues of those teams that were finite. The league did nothing to support them. Forced them to move. 2 of those teams were, I think they were all WHA teams as well. I'm not 100% sure in Quebec, but I know Winnipeg and Hartford were WHA, World Hockey Association teams originally before they joined the NHL. And they were forced to move, which is interesting. So when Winnipeg got their team back, they didn't have no merchandise ready, they didn't have a logo ready, didn't have a jersey ready. Same for Vegas. When Vegas was announced, they got the logo pretty quick, great. The jerseys weren't announced till really late, and then you got the pre-season and no one can get merchandise outside of Vegas. So you couldn't go online and go on the NHL website or any other jersey website and find Vegas merchandise until the season had started. So fans are angry with that. Ticket prices, fans are angry with that. The league's made all this money off these expansion fees, but ticket prices are $200 for a couple of games. Ooh. So, and there's an issue with a lot of vacant, empty seats at arenas, which looks really crap for TV. Really crap. Players aren't happy they can't go to the Olympics, which that's going to come up in the next bargaining agreement. Owners aren't happy with certain bits and pieces, such as revenue sharing out of, and that's going to come up with the bargaining agreement. Is this next set of expansion fees? Who gets what out of it, percentage-wise? The players are going to want a bigger share. At the moment, they don't get a share. They're going to want a bit of that pie. There is a threat of another lockout. No party wants that. The NHLPA don't trust Bettman. Some of the owners don't like Bettman. There's a lot of friction there. So yeah, he's in a difficult position, but he's not well liked. But he says this, and I'm going to leave it with this. Because the 90s into the noughties. So most of his tenure has had a lot of negative press. And there's also comments on the CTE lawsuits as well. He's basically repetitive blows to the head don't cause brain damage. I accept that players get concussed or other injuries. It's not just CTE, it's player welfare after they retire due to all the injuries they've got, because it leads to alcohol abuse, prescription medication abuse, drug abuse, whatever. Bob Probert basically is an example. There you go. I'm using him as an example. Chris Nyland became a smackhead for a long time. It's not that players aren't going to get hurt. Oh, not at all. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I disagree with is them being rushed back, they're not properly assessed, they're not looked after properly, they're just shoved on painkillers, they're given loads of painkiller injections. I'm getting dizzy. Skate, he can skate. It's the attitudes. That's what I think people miss. They want to take all these hits out of hockey. Don't. It's, okay, he's concussed, he can't play for a while. Properly assess him. That's my thing. His comments say, he doesn't exist at all. It's moronic. So he's not popular with that. So yeah, he's got a lot of negativity. But all said and done, he says this: if I'm not getting booed, I'm not doing my job properly. Thank you very much for watching. You've got through 6 minutes and 27 seconds of my drivel. Please like and subscribe, place your comments below, and place your views on Bettman. And I'll have some more videos for you tomorrow.